Now we're going to dive into a bunch of slides about the agent channel, getting more into this. We've talked a lot of it, so I'll try to go through some of these quickly, but clearly the agent channel is changing. Industries that fail to think about that get essentially knocked out by big players who are willing to go that route. Insurers often talk about customer service as the way they distinguish themselves from big companies. But customer service is increasingly a technology-enabled area. What is customer service aside from understanding who your customer is, being able to interact with them for multiple channels, being able to interact with them easily in the way they want, 24/7 service capabilities? These are the things that actually technology and, frankly, big organizations are able to do better than small ones. For a long time, customer service and insurance meant, well, we will listen to your problem and won't just reject your claim automatically. And that's still true, but all these other things matter also. Also, we're seeing demographics shifting, and that's going to continue to push the problem. This picture shows how social media is used to engage with people, another big channel change. Essentially we're seeing over 40 insurers, very little use of social media, under 40 agents and over 40 agents have very different patterns for engaging with people. But also specifically having relationships with the underwriters. So not just the customer, but knowing an underwriter, interacting with them. Under 40 agents are much more likely to have a relationship with a specific underwriter they like to sell business with. So what is the digital agent? They're going to be delivering value through multiple channels. It's about speed, it's about responsiveness, it's about information and advice. So a lot of these things are available to the consumer on their own, but the agent needs to be sort of taking part in that and understanding that just because the information's out there doesn't mean that they can't be adding to that, explaining things that are confusing. It's not about only being the only information holder. They're no longer a roadblock. They're no longer someone you have to talk to. They're someone you want to talk to. They are going to work with the insurer to enable them to do more things. Just because you're selling insurance online as an insurer doesn't actually mean you have to get rid of the agent. And a lot of insurers are finding this kind of middle ground where they will still offer an online quoting and purchasing channel. But what happens at the end of that is you're essentially directed to an agent. The agent may not have really been a big part of the process, but or the agent may have said, you're interested in working with us, great, let me talk to you. Now, if you'd like to do this on your own time, go to this website where you can handle things on your own. But the idea is that whether the agent was heavily involved or not, they are still part of the final insurance purchase. One of the benefits of that is for an agent, it still can be a little scary to think that someone's going to buy insurance without them being involved. But if they end up getting a commission for it anyway, and that helps lessen the blow, even if it does seem like it's the first step in getting the agent out of the process altogether. But now the agent's job becomes more about follow-up and extending the relationship. I've talked to a lot of different agents, and I was talking to a lot of under 40 agents, trying to gather sort of what are young agents doing. And one of the people I talked to, his thoughts were that, sure, the insurance customer service call center, they can help if someone calls in and wants to buy insurance. But they're never going to be as good and sort of as engaged and understand the insurance to the level of detail that I do as an independent agent, because if they did, they could make more money as an independent agent, right? They're going to be a call center and a help, and they're going to run on scripts. Agents are going to be the people who kind of engage in a different way. Now, whether that's true the long term, I don't know. There are lots of insurers that have captive agent channels, which kind of, disprove what he's saying. But at the same time, I think the point is there, that there's a difference between call center, there's a call center help, a sort of online do-it-yourself help, and somebody who is really a partner in the decision process. The technology, in our mind, doesn't replace agents. It enhances them. And this is true internal and external. I say this about underwriters too, when you're putting in a new predictive model for underwriter risk assessment. So our feeling is that cyborgs are better than robots. But cyborgs, I guess, are also better than humans, right? It's this technology-enabled human, the cyborg, that really makes the most difference. This is a slide from an older study now from 2012, though more recent sort of smaller surveys have backed this up. This is what agents want from their top carrier. And you'll see at the top here that it's speed of underwriting decision-making, it's the responsiveness of the underwriting new business, it's competitive product offerings, it's claim services, it's personal relationships with the underwriter. These are the top 5. Most of the time, competitiveness, that's talking about pricing, but it's also talking about just having a lot of products, having a wide underwriting appetite. And the fact is that pricing is often what insurers think agents care about, and that's it. What we're seeing here, it's about the process, what the agent actually cares about. It's the process, it's the speed at which they can get results. When I go into agencies and talk to them about who they sell products with and why, often the number one factor is, well, I know this person's going to accept the business and they're going to get me a response immediately. And this other system is hard to work with, and it usually takes them a day or two to turn around a quote. I'm only going to that system if I happen to know, all right, for this particular client, that's the only one who's going to give them a good price. But otherwise, it's actually about the experience, not the pricing.